Hey everyone, it's Maya. Today we're out on the Hudson River in a small canoe, and we are going to talk about the path of the Hudson River. So the headwaters of the Hudson, or where the river begins, is at the highest point in New York, up in the Adirondack Mountains, at the top of Mount Marcy, which is also known as Tahowas. Near the very top of that mountain is a tiny little lake called Lake Tear of the Clouds. This little lake, Lake Tear of the Clouds, is often called the headwaters of the Hudson. Although if you think about it, anywhere that a raindrop falls in the watershed is also where the river begins. So water flows from Lake Tear of the Clouds over 100 miles, down mountainsides, on switchbacks, rocky crags, until it finally reaches the Albany area, where it has gotten a little bit wider, and there's a dam there called the Troy Dam. From the Troy Dam, the river really changes on its path down to the Atlantic Ocean. It's no longer a river that's just flowing down a mountainside. At that point, it's more of an arm of the sea, where it's connected to the ocean and it's impacted by the ocean's tides, the ocean currents, and even the salt water intruding up from the ocean. So the whole path of the Hudson River from its headwaters down to the Atlantic Ocean is 315 miles. And from the Troy Dam down to the Atlantic Ocean, that's the estuary portion of the river, that's about 150 miles. So the Hudson is almost like two rivers. One that goes from an elevation change of about 5,000 feet down, and then another river that goes from an elevation change of only 5 or 6 feet for the other half of it to the ocean. Meaning that the estuary portion of that lower river goes up and down with the tides every day, and the whole current of the river changes directions twice a day as well. So the upper Hudson, as it's flowing down from the Adirondacks, that's all fresh water that's collecting from streams and from rain on its way down. Whereas the lower Hudson, as you go from Albany down to the Atlantic Ocean, you're going on a gradient from fresher to a little bit more salty to a little bit more salty until you get all the way down to the salt water. There are a lot of plants, there are a lot of fish, there are a lot of animals that have habitat preferences or choices based on how salty that water is. So this is one of the many reasons that the Hudson River is one of the most biologically diverse ecosystems on the planet, this estuary ecosystem. All right, we'll see y'all later.